All right, Kyle, let me know you can see a preview when you get it.
All right, I got one.
Cool. Good to go. I am.
I got one.
Cool. Good to go. I am.
I'm gonna turn this one down.
All right. We are live. What's up, everybody? Hope y'all are having a good week. What's up, Rolly? So, got our guest today. We want to introduce him and then have him go ahead and explain. Go ahead and start with your name and how you got into the trade and all the above. And what's your Instagram so that way they can find you.
Yeah, my name is Timon Welch, Welch Ceramic Tile. I got in the game, started doing tile at a young age, second generation tile setter, come from a big family. Our dad did it for about 30 years, and, taught us young, had us carrying in backer board, boxes of tile, all the stuff that he didn't want to do, get it all in the house. And, so started doing that and started my own company in 2010, so we've been going pretty solid myself for 2010,
Awesome.
So we've been doing it.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Now, you said, how old were you exactly when you started?
Man, I couldn't tell you. I guess 8 or 9, somewhere there. Somewhere there, 8 or 9, carried in stuff and getting in my dad's way for a while, learning what not to do and what to do. So
I got a 8-year-old and I got a 4-year-old, and I take them both there, so they come check out stuff. And
I got an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old, and they work with me all the time. So we're
yes.
Doing so tile, and I do a little contract on the side. Today we were pinning a footer, so they're out there with lasers and all that beeping. So
I just wanted to teach my girls
on my face.
Teach them to be handy, and then if they don't end up doing it for a trade, they'll do it for at least they'll be able to do their own homes. And so it'll be good. It'll be good. Plus, I'm excited. I'm like, shit. Once when they do get their own place, I want to go in there and tear it up and make it be nice and pretty.
Well, I just think you want to teach them young, like a trade of some type, and then if they want to go to college and do something else, whatever. And if that doesn't work out, hey, they know how to do showers or tile. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Just something to fall back on.
They can always make money.
Say it again.
Yeah, they can always make money.
Oh yeah, no matter what. I mean, if you're a good, honest dude and you do good work, there's no reason you shouldn't make like $1,500 a week doing tile. There's no reason.
Easy.
Unless it's like some crackhead like trying to get that money. You know how it is. The people that are chasing the money are the ones that aren't getting the money. So whatever.
Right now, those kind of people are all around Denver, and they're fucking it up for everybody else. Because I'm like,
it all comes back around. It all comes back around for you, though. It's sad, but it is. It's the way it goes. So
I'm sending out estimates, and they're like, we were hoping to be this with materials, and I'm just like, that is not feasible in that mindset. No. Like, there's no way in hell this is going to work. But I'm like, somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to do it for like $1,000, and he ain't going to be a tile setter. He's going to be someone that I can do tile. But it's like, Jesus.
Oh yeah. Been fixing those jobs.
Now, have you been in Nashville or that area at least for your whole life, or?
And our dad moved us out here in the 90s. He's also like a songwriter, songwriter. Our family's like music, like all the stuff, So he was a songwriter, tile guy that moved us out here in 1996, I believe. Somewhere there.
That's awesome.
So he got here, and I pretty much grew up here. I'd say from like second grade, first grade, somewhere there.
Okay. So, yeah. Where'd you come from before that?
Idaho. Yeah, we came from Boise, Idaho. He was out there, and he did tile out there, stuff like that. Which, I told you a little bit about that.
Yeah.
There,
That's awesome.
So I actually went to music school in 2008, right out of high school. And this is crazy. So I was there, and then I dropped out because I started doing a lot of tile and thought, whatever, this is a waste of time, music school, whatever. Well, like, I don't know, 7-8 years later, I'm back in that same school tiling the place. So it was like full circle. Like, here we are. We're back in this massive college, Nashville State Community College over off the Bell Road, edition.
That's awesome.
4 doors as far as you can see. And it's now, it dawned on me, wait a second. you went to school here for this, dropped out and did this, and now we're here. Like, wow, it's all full, kind of a crazy
circle of life.
yeah. Wow. So I'm like,
That's awesome. Checking out your page again tonight. Man, the work is killer, dude. Awesome work, dude. It looks great.
Man, I used to do like 75% of what you see, Now I'm lucky if it's 10%. I stay so busy with everything.
Yeah.
But I manage some really good dudes. Like I got some really good guys that work with me, and they've got people who work with them. So it
That's
works
awesome.
out. As long as there's people who care about what they're doing and you're following them around and day to day. So
yep.
You have to send them out there and be like, well, see y'all Friday. Do a good job. You got to be there in the morning. You got to be there in the afternoon because as well as I do, once that stuff dries, man, it's hard to fix.
Yeah. It's easier to do it right the first time than
you've been in the trenches with the chisel and the hammer and taking it all up and cleaning it up. It's, oh my gosh, sometimes it's just like slave labor, You don't want a big job to go sideways. Have to chip it all. It just no good.
No. How many guys do you think you work with? Do you have a kind of a number?
I have a main guy that is kind of like my tile plug, And then from there, he brings the labor, and then we sort it out from there. So if I say,
awesome.
Hey, we got this job, we're going to need probably 10 dudes. Can we get 10 dudes? He's like, yeah, let me go get them, and he'll bring them, and they're people that we've worked with for years now. So,
that's awesome.
I would, like I said, when me and my brothers used to work together, I don't know if I told you guys that on the live, but I have 6 brothers. There's 7 sons in our family, and we all worked together growing up. So around 2010, we first started out, we were all pretty much working together, me and 3 of my brothers, older ones, my 2 older brothers, my younger brother. And, we would just work day and night, all kinds of crazy stuff. And, I did the hourly thing. I'd pay him hourly for, when we first started out, I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know business, dude. I'm just a guy that do tiles. So we started hourly and stuff like that. And I figured out, well, then, okay, daily was a better way to pay them. So I started paying them daily. And then I started hiring other guys and, we do daily rates, stuff like that. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? The only way to get this done right is by the square foot. Because a guy's going to come in and do a day's work. He's not going to come there for $75. He's not going to come set like 15 square feet, so you're going to have to pay him by the square foot to where he can make $300-$400 a day, if not more, how many square feet. And if he wants to hire other people under him and take on that responsibility, then so be it, but
right.
I'll make deals with people, different crews and stuff that I've been working with for a long time. But hey, this much a square foot, are you cool with that? And like, well, I'm good with it. Let's run it. And we'll sign something, and he'll go get his guys, and we'll meet up, and we'll bring the paperwork, and we'll lay out the floors. And, I lay out the floors personally because, you want to make sure it's on you. You don't want to trust someone else on a big, like say you're laying out a 10,000 square foot floor. You're going to want to make sure you're in there chalking it out and squaring it up, so that's what I've been doing. So
that's awesome. Heck yes.
How's that big, what dealership job going?
Hyundai in Cookeville?
Yeah.
We're down to just base and simple like punch out stuff,
Awesome.
Right on. How much square feet was that? That's pretty huge.
It was like 42,000 square feet, dude. It was a big one. A lot of it was the back bays, like drive-ins where they do oil changes, stuff like that. And there's like 40 lifts. I have to post some pictures. I have to share some pictures or something of it. It was all 12 by 12 kids, so it was pretty cool. I actually went on vacation while they were finishing the backside of that, so came home to that. Now we're down to base, and there's a bunch of doors that got to go and we got to cut around. So,
do you run commercial and residential? What do you do more of? Is it pretty much in the middle?
Man, when I first started out, it was all let me tell you a little history about me. So when I first started out, it was all residential. And then 2008 is when my dad was still in business, and a lot of crazy stuff happened back then. There was no work. He was slowed down. So I didn't have any work with him. He couldn't support me. And I was just out of high school. So I was like, well, we found a guy at an old tile store down here on Fog Street called Ceramic Tile Distributors, and so we got a number off that, and my brother did, and he called him. And he got us set up with this commercial crew. Well, this guy, they're called Charger Commercial Flooring, Todd Conway and Fred Conway. And these guys, man, they were like they kind of took me in under their wing, taught me the commercial world because I knew nothing about it, but I needed work. So I went in there. I think I was working for like $8 an hour or something like that. They taught me like, dude, everything. Quarry tile, like packing mud beds in commercial kitchens. Like we would use garden tillers for Portland and sand, mixing it up in piles and circles, and then wheelbarrow it in. Pack those huge commercial kitchens around all the drains, like all the good stuff with the lasers. And I mean, him and his dad were really good to me and taught me like everything, the ins and outs of commercial, like
That's awesome.
Layout, stuff like that. Like, so I worked for them for, gosh, a good 2 years, and they knew, you know, eventually I was going to branch out and do my own thing. I'm still buddies with Todd. Fred passed away, but he was a solid guy. Like we worked with them, and even when I started my own company, they started subbing me jobs. Like he would sub me jobs. We were at like 2010. There was a massive flood here in Nashville. The Regal 21 movie theater, we tiled that, and they would sub me all kinds of work down there, like crazy patterns, like all the stuff. I don't know if you've been there, Kyle, but the floor in the Regal 21, all those crazy like curve cuts and all the.
Where's Regal 21? Which one is that?
Opry Mills Mall.
Oh, that's Opry Mills.
Yeah, we did a lot of Opry Mills back after the flood. I don't know if you're around then. Were you in Nashville then?
Yeah, I was here.
Yeah, the flood like took that place. We did a lot of through
that whole area sits in a valley next to the rivers.
So, and when they were done, like we went in and the ducks had taken the place over. There was ducks all in the mall. Like duck squads, like the whole. I mean, it was just
ducks in the mall.
Dude, yeah, Canadians too. They were interested to be here, you know. They're everywhere. So.
Oh God.
But no, but that's how I got into commercial tile, because my dad maybe that I remember did like one job and it went sideways on him. It wasn't good because he was new to epoxy grouts and it was just hell on quarry tile. Like, you know, we just didn't know. But Todd and Fred at Charger Commercial Flooring taught us epoxy, taught us like all the tricks, like the buffers, the towels dragging it out. Like, you know, I didn't know about grout release. You can buy grout release. You can put it on there, make it a little easier. I didn't know anything about, you know. Yeah. So, but no, they taught me the commercial world. We, you know, branched out from there, and now I've been in business for myself on like 14 years now. So
that's awesome.
Like, but yeah, so we're probably 50-50, I'd say, commercial, residential. Cool. So
hell yeah.
Right on.
So that's awesome. I enjoy commercial because, you know, you don't have the client breathing over your neck. Like, you know how that gets sometimes. Some of the clients come in, it's just, man, just go away. Let me do my thing. You know, you want to help. I mean, it's just weird. You know how it is being in someone's house. And they're offering you coffee. I mean, it's cool, whatever. But I just want to go in there, do my thing, and get out of there. I don't, you know, I guess that's where I'm not so personable anymore. Like when I first started out, I loved it. Like I don't know. Now I'm just like, dude, just let me do my thing.
I'm personally trying to shift.
It's cool, like in the commercial world, if they come in and like, hey, this needs to be changed. Well, it's a change order. They're going to pay for it. It's not that weird, like, you know, air between you and the client. It's them saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. And you're saying, well, here's the contract we had. So whatever.
Yeah, personally, I'm trying to switch over to more GCs, designers, so that I can represent them, come in, do the work. But then naturally, if they're, like you said, that gray area between the homeowners and that, well, they're going to talk to them, get back with me. But you know what I mean? So that way it takes away that gray area, because I don't know. Not every homeowner is the same. So I've had some super good ones, and I've had some that are, you're ready to leave.
I'm with you all the time.
But then I've had some that, like, I'm like, oh man, like the one I've been out there a few months this year already doing this whole the floor, the fireplace, and the bathroom down their basement. And I'm about wrapping that one up. And he said, all right, well, next summer I want you to come back up. We're going to do the upstairs fireplace. He's got another bathroom upstairs. So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, you're the kind of homeowner though that, like, I would love to come back here. Like, there's some other ones where, like I said, where it's time to go. It's like, all right, this is good. Later. Yeah. I survived.
Yeah. There's some commercial jobs like that just keep going too, you know? Like you think you're done and you're on a job for like 6 months, you know?
I had a retired cop, and Mr. Major, he was a nice guy, but man, he had his own workshop downstairs and stuff, and he would stand in the doorway, like you said, and he'd just watch. And I'm like, oh, cool, because I ain't gonna cut any corners. I'm gonna do it the way it needs to be done. But what started getting in the fucking way was, like I said, he stood in the fucking doorway. So I'm like, every time I wanted to leave to go make a cut or something, I'm like, hey, excuse me, eventually I was like, at that time, it was before I was running my business and I was still working under somebody. I told him, I said, you got to get this fucking guy out of my way. I was like, he's killing my schedule.
And they nitpick you. And they, it's just like, I don't know if you're like me too. You're like doing something sometimes and it's just 10 times harder because people are just watching you. It's like, dude, just let me do it.
Well, I put music
performing.
On. Yeah.
Huh? When they're watching, it's like now you're performing, They're,
That's more.
That's what I was like. If you start tipping me, I'm like, all right, you go,
now you're thinking about every move, and
Oh yeah, like what, That's a mess.
Yeah, I'll put my headphones on.
The longest job I had ever been on was Omni Hotel in Nashville in 2014. We were there for like a little over 2 years, dude. It was 21 stories, and then once they got to the bottom, it was like all the foyers, all the restaurants, all the little finishes, bathrooms, and all the how they do the commercial units underneath. So, but it was herringbone every single hotel room. Plank tiles, like little 3x16 plank tiles, herringbone, and that's before there was any clips. I mean, there may have been clips then. I didn't know anything about them, So
when was this?
Say it again.
What year was this?
14, right?
2014, somewhere in there. 2013, 2014.
The first clips I ever saw were the skinny QEP ones.
Yeah, that's the first ones I saw too.
Lash. Yeah, Lash A is what they call it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, come in the box or whatever.
So I actually still use those little wedges. I don't use them for the leveling system because they don't have enough square.
Wedges are good when you're working around niches and stuff, like all little
Yeah, that's all I ever used them for too. I ended up giving them all to my buddy because I'm like,
no, dude, I use them for temporary shims. So like when I'm framing or like putting in a vanity, use the wedge because it has little clicks. You can click it in, shim it to where you need it to. Find your angle, cut it depending on what you want, and then you can wood shim it and good to go. And it's like, I don't know. I love those for that reason. I'm like, otherwise it just doesn't have enough coverage. It's too small.
I actually bought some of those the other day. I ran to a Home Depot version, whatever it is, the little yellow ones. It's not QEP, but
that's the same one.
I went and grabbed some the other day because we were right there working on right there by Hollywood. What is that? Brooklyn Bowl or whatever, and over there's like an apartment thing we was doing, and Home Depot's like right there. So I was like, I'm gonna go over here.
Right, East Side Bowl.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, East Side Bowl. Yeah, right there off of Gallatin Pike. So
yeah, that's right by me.
Okay, cool. Inglewood, right?
Yeah.
So
Inglewood area.
I don't want to run all the way to the other side of town to Dow Tile or Louisville Tile. Where do you mainly get all your stuff in town? Do you go to Louisville Tile or Dow Tile or
Louisville Tile for a lot of stuff? I don't go to Dow Tile for much.
Not much. Maybe epoxy grouts where we pick stuff up from there. So.
Yeah, they're all just kind of dense in there too, man. Try to ask them about.
They're all new.
You ask them about anything, they're just like, "We got Schluter." It's like, dude, I know, dude. I see the big orange display.
I need some, A100 or AHK 125. Yeah, I have that. We got Schluter. Yeah, I got.
I know that.
Yeah.
No, dude, Louisville's where it's at. They're like, they're like pro. They know what's up. They understand what you're talking about when you ask for it. And then Floor and Decor, man.
Floor and Decor is awesome, dude. I mean, for what it is, they just built one in Hendersonville, and that's much closer for me.
That's the one I'm going to now because my the manager that I just transferred to that one when it opened. So I'm like, they're literally all the same distance from me. So it's
the one in Antioch's just too far away.
I'm about to get one like 3 miles up the road, so I'm like, it's gonna open up in October.
And they price match. Did you know that, Kyle? If you go to Louisville Tile and get your list price from them, take it up there and talk to one of their people. They'll price match.
They've price matched contractors direct for me before.
Nice.
Good. That's awesome.
Some D-Track XL. I needed it.
Because if you go there and buy a roll of D-Track, it's like $700 or something crazy, right? I don't even know the price. What is it?
I don't know.
I know it's up there above like the $319 you can get it at Louisville Tile or whatever,
no, they're marking it up like $150, $200.
Something, it's crazy. So I went in there and they price matched everything, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, I was shocked when he marked that big roll of D-Track XL down. I was just like, wow, dude, what a price cut.
Oh, dude, I had to get some.
Guy. I'm not loyal to anybody, dude. If the thin set's here, it's there, whatever. It could be, 4XLT. It could be,
Oh, yeah.
Brands. I'm using whatever's on the spec sheet. In commercial, they say they want to use customs, whatever. That's what. Yeah, bring it on. That's what we're doing.
Hell
I don't care. I'm not going to sell you nothing else. Let's get it done.
Shit, the other day I was trying to find R38 insulation. I needed it for the attic because, like I said, they abated everything in the project I'm on now. And Home Depot had some. I was like, all right, let me just run to Lowe's, check the prices over there. Thank God, somebody had stocked them in the wrong bay, so they had switched places with the R13 and the R38. So the price difference was $100 or $22. So I was like, hold on one second. So I took a picture, went up there, and I was like, so what are we gonna do? And they're ringing it up. They're like, oh, it's $100. And I'm like, nah, it's not. It's $22. And they went out there, they checked it all. And they're like, well, shit, if you get this one that's got a little rip on the package, we'll damage it out and we'll give it to you for $22. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Easy savings. It's like, and now I should have just bought the whole pallet though. I'm like, all right, now I'll just clear you out. Thanks. But
yeah, Floor & Decor sells everything for cheap if there's a hole in it. Not that I'm up there like cutting holes and shit, but
Yeah,
there's always
poking holes in it.
There's always like a huge pile of like
for like I've seen them for like $1 a bag too.
Bagged up thin sets. I'm like, I'm buying them all. I don't even care what it is.
Man, I acquired a pallet, a half pallet. I did the what is that? It's a putt type bar downtown. What are they called? Whatever it is.
That's cool.
Whatever it is. Well, I acquired a half a skid of frost grout, right? So I was selling frost grout to everybody for a while, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what color do you think? I think frost would look great in here. You know?
Not too white, not too gray.
Yeah, it's just frost, you know?
Perfect.
I think I still got probably 20 bags of frost out there in the barn.
Jeez.
So.
Some FA?
Yeah, FA. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, nice. Cool. That's good stuff. I mean, dude, a lot of people ask for frost anyways. Like when I show them the pallet.
Yeah. It's called Putt
pallet.
Shack. Did you see Putt Shack? That's the one I got all that grout from.
Putt Shack.
No, Putt Shack. It's like a bar, it's down there in like the capital city part of town. Over there by the YMCA, the old YMCA.
Nah, I don't be going down there that much.
No. You know? Hey, dude, I go down there to work and that's it.
Yeah. If I had a job down there.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the only reason I go to Nashville. So.
Yeah. Nah, it's a madhouse down there.
It's a different world too because you got the girls on the pedal taverns, and then your whole cruise will run to the windows. It's like, guys, we're working here. You've never seen a woman before. Like, what are y'all doing? But it's like 11 o'clock in the morning on Broadway. We were a couple years ago. It was the Four Seasons. You know, we were working with a company out of Miami called Twinstone Marble, and those guys, like, you know, they do the big jobs, and we're just some of their boots on the ground here in Nashville. And, you know, they called us to come out there to do like the residencies. There's a hotel beneath in the Four Seasons, but then atop is like the residencies they sell. So we're there working, and I mean, like clockwork, when the people come around the pedal taverns, the guys go to the window, like all of them. It's
like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
Some pervy construction workers.
It's like being in the day,
stereotypical.
You know?
Oh, too good. So what do you got planned after the dealership you're on right now?
Man, I got to start a residential job in the morning here in Springfield, not far from us, Springfield, Tennessee. Yeah. Guy that I've been pushing off. I was supposed to start Monday, but I pushed him off as we were digging those footers, and the guy that was digging them was headed out on vacation. I needed his help, so we dug out those instead. So tomorrow I got to go there, demo that. And then I got a punch list at a surgery center we tiled in Mount Juliet. I got to go get sorted out. So, you know, nice. I got to do that. And then we got to get some plank tile picked up and took out there to Cookeville, and 125 pieces of A100 25 for the top of the base. So it'll be a lot of base out there.
Hell yeah.
But other than that, I mean, we stay pretty busy. I mean, if I'm not doing tile, I'm doing something somewhere, you know, fixing something, building something. So.
Oh yeah. That's dude, fuck yeah. Staying busy.
It is, man. It never ends.
No.
So when you sub out to like other tile guys on these residential jobs?
Yes, 100%.
Do you supply all the materials, or you just have?
Yeah, we supply everything. See, when I do most of the residentials I do nowadays, like when I go in, it's a full, you know, it's like for it's a whole, like, we're going to redo everything down to studs, tear it out, rebuild the whole bathroom. And then, I'll sub the tile to someone that I know is good at tile,
You pretty much have to in these old Nashville, huh?
Oh, yeah.
The one we're on right now is
I like the new houses, man.
1890.
Say it again.
The one we're on right now is from 1890.
Dude, we did the original Percy Priest house off of Holly Street over there. It's like, Percy Priest Dam was named after him, this guy, Percy Priest. So we did his house after the tornado, and everything was just so for Artisan Build Construct. Do you know Artisan Build?
Yeah, Tony
Hirsch.
Tony Hirsch.
Yeah, Tony's good dude.
I know Tony.
Tony's good dude. He's good people. But we worked on that house with him, and he did a pretty good job. We did a lot of tile in there. So,
dude, they do some really dope shit.
They do, man, and they're good at it, and their guys are good, good people. So,
yeah, Tony's been trying to hire me for like years. I'm just like,
to work for him, yeah.
Yeah, he won't sub work to me. I've tried to get him to.
Yeah. Have you met Mike Thompson? One of his guys works with him. Dude, Mike's a good dude. He used to work with the Choa brothers. If you've seen the Choa brothers,
I know the Choa brothers. They did an entire house, and then I did the bathroom in it that they didn't touch. Actually,
yeah, he's good people, man. Aaron, I've worked with him for going on 9 or 10 years now. He's what he does. He's a builder here in town. We've worked with him for a while. He's a good dude.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah, no, I've never actually met him, but.
No, he's good people.
Just did work in a house that they did the whole house, and the client just left this bathroom and did it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, are you specific on materials that you use in there, or do you let the installer kind of pick them?
I'm a Schluter dude, man. I am through and through. Curdy, Curdy, Dietra, all the stuff. Pack mud beds when we have to, or use the foam pan when it's necessary. Leveler, all that stuff. So, I was sold on Schluter back in like 2013 or 14. We were doing that Omni Hotel, and it was the first time. I mean, I'd seen it, stuff like that, but we always did like mud work on the walls, backer board with like, liquid stuff like that. So, but I'd seen it. But there was another company there. It was. What is that stuff? Dow Tile sells. It was like Dow Seal or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? You familiar with that? Like a waterproofing that Dow Tile makes? I guess they had like the contract on the building in the beginning. It was called Dow Seal, something like that. And it was like a waterproof membrane. And they used that for a while. I guess they had a leak somewhere and they stopped using that. And then a Schluter rep came in and everything went to Schluter from then on. And ever since then, I mean, I've just used Schluter since, so Schluter product.
Curdy board,
all of it when it's necessary, the niches, all the stuff.
Whatever. Cool. Yeah, I mean they make some really cool stuff. What's that new drain called? I always forget the name of it. It's the one that you can go wall to wall with.
I don't know, the one you can cut. Yeah, the one you can saw off or whatever.
Yeah.
I think we've used one time we've used something like that, and it was before they even made that drain. We took one of their long ones and did the deal, and the guy welded it and like fabricated it, and then dropped and made it.
Yeah.
Curdy caulked the crap out of it. Curdy caulked the insides. So it was nice and tight.
Nice.
That was the only time. We did that. Now I see that they make one you can actually cut. I'm like, okay. So
HR Tile says it's the Vario drain, so maybe that's what it's called. VARIO. So.
No clue.
Sounds right to me, man.
Where are you seeing these comments at? I don't see.
Oh, I got it on my phone over here, so I stream it on there so I can see.
Yeah, my phone. I'm on somebody's live, but I don't know. I don't see any comments.
I actually have never used Schluter. That's one of the companies that's been around forever, and I've just never had the chance.
What do you use? What do you guys get? What do you guys use?
I use Weedy a lot.
Yeah, I use Weedy. I used to get it from Buy Floors Direct. 100.
There you go.
Yeah, it's so expensive. That's the only place in town that stocks it.
I think I saw it at another place, A1 Surplus, but it's still expensive over there in Madison.
Oh, it is.
A1
it's twice as much as Go Board, but then Go Board's like twice as much.
Go Board's good, but man, it makes you itch.
Yep. I'm excited. I just put out a bid right now on the lady that the lady I bidded out. She works and actually does R&D for what is it, John's, the company that owns Go Board. So she actually tests all their products, and she's
Mansfield or whatever, yeah.
Exactly.
Mansfield, yeah.
And she's got an actual pallet of what they call this Go Board Pro, which I've yet to be able to purchase anywhere, but that one's their newest one that's going to come to market. I'm not sure if it's out yet 100%, but it's less itchy.
Charge you more money
for less itch.
More money for your health.
But if she don't have to pay for it and I don't have to pay for it, I'm like, I'll use it. Let's go. So we'll see how it all works out. Mainly, I just want to kind of test it out because this one I'm on right now, it's just going to be Go Board walls, original on this tub surround right now, and that was just to shave some cost. They had only gotten paid so much through their insurance, so I was like, okay,
yeah,
you could do. I try to avoid doing concrete board. That's, to me, it's outdated. It still has its purpose when you're doing like exterior or you're doing a fireplace. It could be a wood burning, but otherwise, I don't know. Go Board will work just as well.
Yeah, we ran Durock for like most of my life.
See?
And the smell of Durock, I mean, it's just you know you're getting cancer when you're cutting it.
Oh, 100%.
Just that smell, you know?
100%.
I used Hardybacker. I used Durock for a little bit, but I used Hardybacker more just because it was more solid.
I didn't like it because it didn't form to my walls. It was, you know what I'm saying? The Hardybacker.
Yeah.
And I always would throw stuff on janky walls and then just mud it, you know?
So, yeah.
There you go.
Durock was nice because it was nice and tight to the studs and the corners, and then you could square up from there, you know? I don't want to do like old school and have to go in there and chicken wire. And I mean, that's just so much work, dude. Y'all do that?
I got to go out and work with Andrew.
That's like old school. That's like, you know, dad stuff or old people. You know, it's good, but man, it's a lot of work.
Oh, it is.
I want to do some like exterior stuff around my house, like maybe build a hot tub for the hell of it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, make the whole thing out of mud and tile it. But I'm not trying to like go into a client's house and experiment.
Oh, dude, and bring the freaking rock quarry with you. I mean, if I try to do something like that in Nashville, these people would freak out. You know what I'm saying? If you come in with mixing tub, start doing the walls like that, and what do they do? Like hot mop too. Do you imagine coming and hot mopping in someone's house? They'd freak out.
Yeah. I've never torn that out here.
Huh?
I've torn out a lot of walls and thick floors, but I've never torn out a hot mop in Nashville.
No, me either. I actually have. It was like a hot mop, like old school. It was like a hot mop lead pan combo.
I've torn out lead pans, but with
like a mesh and like the tar going up the walls. It was a lot of work. Whoever did that.
Hell no.
Hey, some of those things you got to tear out. They're hard to tear out, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There's a reason it's still there 100 years later, 1,000 years later. So.
I'm into the less work. When I found out you could do single layer concrete pans with a topical, I was like, what the fuck? A bonding flange? What is that? What am I doing?
I don't know, man. I'm 35 right now, and like the older I get, the easier I'll spend a little more money for an easier product, you know?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good to a lot of tile guys and a lot of other people, but you know.
No. I've done many poured pans, and I'm the same way. I'm like, no. But it's all said and done. Let's just get a foam pan I can slap in, be good to go. It doesn't beat my body up, and I'm like, oh, this is a win-win.
Dude, my brother Miles. Have you ever met him, Kyle? Have you ever met a guy named Miles?
No.
He's one of my older brothers, and that guy, he could float a shower pan like no one's business.
Hell yeah!
He's so good at it, like so good at it, you know.
Yeah.
Lays around the edge, make his dam, and like it's just perfection every time. And I was like, dude, you know, I always was like, man, he's got it going on. So
I like floating them.
Yeah.
I don't use much foam at all, really, but I mean on the walls, obviously, but pan. But
hell yeah. Just responding to a couple people. Someone said to use baby powder for the itchy Go Board. I'm like, all right, good to know.
Just don't use it. I was using Go Board.
Just hire someone else to use it for you.
Yeah.
I was doing a shower back in December. It was like a step in, almost like a closet. You know, there's like 4 walls in here in this shower, and I was using Go Board, and there was a window in the shower, and I could just see the like fibers floating around in the air. And I was like, dude, I was like, man, fuck this shit. And I was talking a bunch of shit about it on my Instagram story. And dude, I'm buddies with now just from talking on here. Danny Thinset was like, yeah, you should try out KBRS.
And I saw y'all talking about that one time. Been a while.
That's what I've been using ever since. It's pretty much just like weedy. A little bit more dense, not as quite as dense.
There's someone around here that sells that.
KBRS.
Chris will go nationwide, and I mean that's what he's trying to do, right, with that warehouse.
You know some guy.
Yeah, no, I order it by the pallet, but it's cheap. It's like same price as Go Board.
That's not bad if it's pretty much like weedy quality, though. You said it just has that other layer on top of it.
So. Yeah, no, I think it's better quality than weedy, to be honest. It's just,
that's sick.
It's a little more dense, you know.
Does it still require a sealant that you put in, or do they make their own sealant, or how does that work?
Yeah, they got all their own stuff, sealant.
They do. Cool. Oh yeah.
They make custom pans too, custom foam pans, and they're like super dense. I've never used one, but you can drive, a truck over one.
Jeez. Hell yeah.
And they make curbs. They make a really cool curb with like a layer of PVC on the top, so it's something to screw into, and it doesn't fuck with the waterproofing.
Yeah. Weedy's gonna have one that they're coming out with. I think they said eventually their rep Carson's saying that they might phase out the old ones just because of that. The majority of them are gonna have shower doors. So it's got a composite strip on it.
Yeah. I saw that at Bifloors Direct actually a couple weeks back. They were trying to sell me on it.
Yep. So eventually, because right now, if you buy a whole kit, it's going to come with the standard. But he said eventually, later down the road, they're going to most likely phase it to where it's going to become in the kit. It's not going to become an extra, so you don't have this extra curb that you're having to purchase just for that reason. So I don't know. It'll be nice. We'll see. I haven't personally gotten to use it yet, but I'm curious.
What's it going to cost? You know what they're charging for that?
No, it's going to all depend on where you're bending or where you're getting it from, naturally. But I have my other book inside with the at least I got SKU numbers and stuff. So when I went to get that weedy certification, they sent out that book to everybody. So I'm like, it's my go-to whenever I need. All right, I know they make it. Order it.
So how did you guys get into tile? What did you do? How did you start out? What did you
go for, Kyle?
I was turning this garage into a apartment with a loan I took out on my house. And I was trying to hire contractors. I did not have enough money to hire anyone, just to buy materials pretty much. So YouTube, baby. And I was like, this is fun. I bought a lot of tools. Maybe I'll just start a business out of this shit.
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
That's awesome.
Worked for a guy for a little bit, kind of just to see how does this
Nashville guy who was it? Someone in Nashville?
Yeah, his name's Shalico Creel. He's a country dude. He lives out of
you said Shannon Tile?
No, his name's Shalico Creel.
Oh, I thought you said Shannon Tile. I was like, I know who those guys are.
No, that's this dude's name.
I got you. Yeah.
He lives up in White House area.
Okay.
But he's just kind of like a all around contractor. Does everything, and I just need to see someone walk into someone else's house and be
see the rundown. Yeah. Hey,
I fucking know everything, Then you walk out to the truck and be like, "Damn, how are we gonna do that?" Oh, that's it. You just walk in like your dick is huge and
go in and just be confident and
you make it, buddy.
Dude, that's what happened to me. I faked it one time, and I was 23, something like that. But I put out a Craigslist ad, just one for tile, whatever. And this Meharry Medical in Nashville is like a big medical school, and this guy from North Carolina, Doyle Dickerson Terrazzo, hit us up, and he's like, I have a commercial job here. And I was like, yes, sir. Yeah. Said all the right things, did all our stuff. And it was a 21,000 square foot job.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was there for 6 months, and we're all legit on the phone, all this stuff. When the guy finally met me, I know he's like, what the heck? I mean, we did a good job. I hired all my brothers and all our friends, and we, went to town there, but like you said, fake it till you make it. We faked it and we made it, and we were, doing big boy stuff, and we had bought more wet saws, like, we were doing mud beds, like all the stuff, so.
No turning back.
Dude, there was no turning back. It was either do it or get hurt trying, So
that's awesome.
We did it. We got away with it. It took 6 months, and he was happy, and we were happy. It was a good deal. So.
Hell yeah.
And we actually did some terrazzo on that job, which I'd never even seen done in my life.
We did this massive
terrazzo staircase, So.
Hell yeah.
A medical college, Meharry Medical, over there in the real ghetto part of town. So,
yeah, we're on what is that?
Buchanan and Rosa Parks, somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
I used to live over there, like a block from there.
Yeah.
The most ghetto place I ever lived in my life.
I think it's great, dude. These people
burglarized twice.
Oh yeah, I think it's great. These people come into Nashville and they're getting an Airbnb and they're paying like $600 a night and they're staying in like the worst part of town. Yeah. Like you're gonna get killed for your cell phone just trying to watch a Titans game Sunday,
I used to live on the corner of 17th and Underwood over there in Nashville, which is right there by Mayor.
Oh, yeah, it's over there.
And I mean, there's these dudes that literally like stand on the sidewalk across the street from my house all day selling drugs. They just stand on the sidewalk right there. And this cop would be parked down the road just watching. And I'm just like, this dude's paid off or whatever,
Business is as usual,
Yeah, if anything, he's like watching this dude's back for him, like while he's
like, I'm just here in case shit hits the fan too hard.
Yeah, every now and then someone would come up and they do what's called a pop off where they just shoot their gun in the air.
That's fun.
And like no one really likes that. Even like people in the hood, they don't really appreciate it because then everyone's got to scatter. It kind of like ruins the party,
Yeah, game over.
I mean, it was like this shit. It was like living in a movie. Every day over there. It's just like, what the fuck is going to happen today, dude? Crazy old lady lived across the street, always had like a little bottle of whiskey in her hand. Like, let me borrow some DVDs.
That sounds like
she called me Frizz.
That sounds like Lakehurst Street in the 90s. We lived in East Nashville in the 90s over there in like what was called Little Hollywood now, like Lakehurst and Oakland,
Yeah.
We were there in like 90. Dad had moved us here in like 94, 96, somewhere in there. And like, I think the neighbor was like tweaking and shot the paper boy. Thought he was trying to rob him or something. I don't know. My dad decided it's time to move to Ridgetop,
Damn, dude.
So
just trying to deliver some papers.
Robert, how did you get into tile? What did you do?
So I got my Uncle Mike. He owned a residential remodel company. He was a partner ownership on that. And I don't know. I kind of was choosing a bad path in life. So my mom approached him and was like, "Hey, can you give him a chance and see what you can make him out of?" So I went and worked for him. Did about 2.5 years working for him, actually in Austin, Texas, and that's where born and raised over there. And was going to get promoted to foreman, actually start running his projects for him while he ran around and essentially got things like you said, just get them all operational. And then I'd watch the guys and things like that. And
keep up.
Surprisingly, we lost my mother-in-law, not planned. So when that happened, my wife had to get out of Austin. We're both natives there, and she needed to get into a new kind of scenery and just kind of get out of everything that reminded her of her mom. So we moved up here to Denver, Colorado, and at that point, I started working for myself, doing residential remodels, a little at everything, and I can do it all. But like you said, I'm 36, so I'm pretty close to your age, and the older I was getting, I'm like, I just want to specialize in one thing and just make it easier. And so when COVID happened, she went back to school. We lost some benefits because she had a state job prior. That's when I got with that a company here, did installs for them for a couple of years, project managing. And then after she got a job teaching and got benefits again, I was like, all right, I'm going to start my own business up again. And because mainly that she gets the summers off. We've got 2 girls, so it's just nice having that as an option where I can take some time here and there and make my schedule around their schedule so that I don't know. I was seeing too much of the time pass before my eyes because I was working for somebody else, and I'm like, shoot,
man, yeah, I got it.
I mean, even back when I was working there, like I said, it gave me benefits, so I'm very thankful for it. But I mean, I was getting sent out to fix the next guy's stuff that he fucked up, and he's moving on, making more money, fucking the next one up, and I'm just like, you know what? No, I'm like, this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, I want to do good work, and all my shit I'd complete. On my projects, I never had a fucking service call, never have to go back. And I'm like, but why am I almost getting punished because I have to go fix this guy's shit? And he's out, like I said, doing something. I'm like, fuck that.
That's it. When I had employees, like people working, like I told you, I did the hourly thing for a while. When I had employees, I found myself on a chisel fixing so many things, like Michelangelo down there, just like in a shower pan fixing off. Just like in the quarry, just so upset. You know what I'm saying? Just like down in the hole, just fixing, insane. Oh gosh.
Towards the end, because at that place, in particular where I was working, it was piecework, so I was getting paid piecework. And this one guy, his name I won't say on here, but he was a very good guy when you got to know him, but his work just wasn't there, and he was getting paid hourly. And I'm very good at math, so I'm running numbers in my head, and I'm like, how long was he here? I'm over here fixing this shit. And I'm like, so he got paid more than what I would have gotten paid if I had just gotten this job at a piece rate compared to what he's getting hourly because he took so long here. And I'm like, nah, I was like, this isn't sitting well for me here.
And he messed it up.
Oh, he fucked it up, dude. And it was awful, man. The plumber had also fucked it up on that job too. It was like a $5,000 or $10,000 Persian rug that was on the first floor. And when they flooded the bathroom upstairs with the bad plumbing, it dropped the ceiling and it landed on that Persian rug. And that company had to credit them that amount. And it's just like, oh God, guys, you're never going to get out of here. You screwed yourself. So no, that was one of the last ones before I ended up walking away.
You're working off that rug for the next 5 years.
Oh, dude. I'm like, I just don't want my name associated with this shit, man. So it's been nice. For the most part, peaceful. I mean, last night I was up to like 9:30 running estimates, getting them all sent out because I had met to do them, and I don't like to push people off on those. Because
how do you go about that? How do you do yours? What do you like when you do estimates? Do you try to delegate a day to that, or how do you do it? Because man, I find myself so just at midnight sometimes getting things together.
It's insane.
I mean, it's rough. Thank God I got my wife does like all the paperwork for us, like taxes,
that's awesome.
Stuff, like check stuff, all that. If I didn't have her doing that, I don't know how to keep up, So it's
insane.
But just doing the labor and getting the materials together and finding, time to sit down and do your estimates.
It's stressful, man.
And then after that, the invoices, like I use QuickBooks for invoices. And like I said, my wife helps me with that. Like I'll just name it out to her, write it down, whatever. I mean, but I could not imagine trying to do everything myself,
the world without QuickBooks, it's very similar. It's LZ Books. LegalZoom makes their own, and it's just, they offered it for free. So I was like, well, fuck it, I'll take it right now and run it since I created the company with it. But it works. It works good, but it's constantly something to always do. For me, I'm the same way, though. I charge per square footage. So I've gone through and created like an Excel sheet, breaks it down between demo, prep, tile, standard fees, all these different ways so that way I kind of have a quick reference. I'll just have to go meet and greet, get the square footage, see eyes on the actual project, take pictures. That way the homeowners get to see me. They know who's going to be in their house, all the above. But typically I try to get it out within 48 hours, and that's what I'll tell them. If I can get it to them the next day, that's great. But it just depends on what time I've gotten to schedule the estimate for, how elaborate the actual project is. And then, if we're talking a very, very elaborate multi-room and everything, then it's going to be even pushed out even more than that. And that's because my estimates, I try to get as accurate as I can, because I don't want to sticker shock somebody when it's all of a sudden some of these people, they're right at their cusp of their budget. And it's like, okay, if you give them that number and next thing you know, you're trying to add this and this and this because you didn't account for it. Well, then you either put them in a place where they don't want to be or they can't be.
Yeah, and that could change the whole demeanor of the job. That could change everything. If you're already in a deal with somebody and then something pops up, hey, here's, $800 doesn't sound like a lot of money, but to
it can add up
a huge deal,
Oh,
And that's
for sure.
It's a whole relationship, and it's just awkward from then on out, you know.
No, and I try to avoid that personally, and that's where it's just I get underbidded by some people that I can tell that that's not the way that they run their business. They're either
but you know, those, those dudes are going to go in there and they're going to have this. They're going to have an issue.
Yeah, they're either going to do crappy work for nothing. They're going to either come in there and do great work for nothing, which either way that sucks, or they're going to start you out at a number that gets you excited. And then next thing you know, oh, we didn't see this. Oh, we didn't know this.
Yeah.
Oh, your framing's out of whack. We're gonna have to reframe.
Bunch of rookie mistakes.
Oh, it's insane. But
you gotta tear a few out to know, like, you know what? I'm charging for subfloor and a bunch of studs every time.
Oh yeah.
And if I don't use them, great. If I gotta use them, I got them.
Mm-hmm. And it's there. And that's totally, yes, I agree.
You just gotta charge for plywood and studs.
Oh, dude, when you get into structure work like that, so when you start mentioning subfloors and stuff, some of these people that know nothing about construction, I mean, they freak out. They're like, oh, no, you know, like, look, it's not that big a deal. You know, it's like 3 joists. We can put a little jack in there, put it back together. Sister, what's alive? Bring them back, you know, and then a piece of plywood, $750. I know that sounds cheap, you know, because sometimes, when you start talking about structure and subfloors, people think thousands, you know, so.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes
I got one right now bidding. That one I'm bidding out for that lady that works for Go Board. She wants to get a whole back wall 60 inches, a nice corner to corner niche. Needs to be framed out, but it's on a load bearing wall, and that's why I told her. I said, okay, you either got 2 options. It's going to cost you more if we do the structural, or she's got the wide enough bathroom where I can go in there, I can frame the wall and just put it up to it so that it doesn't obviously disturb the structural. And she'll still get the niche out of it. She'll just lose 3.5 inches or so from the room because we're pushing it in for her. But she's totally on board with that. She's like, well, I don't want to have to take, prop up walls and put headers in and cost all this if we don't have to. So it'll be crossing my fingers on that one. It'll be a nice project. So she got the estimate last night. We'll see how it all plays out. What you think about, Kyle?
Mario asked, how did grouting with the squeegee go? Did someone grout with a squeegee?
I saw that on your post.
Guys grout with squeegees.
You grouted with a squeegee?
On the 7-Eleven gas stations, we run it, squeegee, run it out of the floor and squeegee it in. 2 or 3 guys clean it up behind them. It's been a while ago. But it works out good.
Yeah.
I was wondering when I saw that post.
Some of the color out of it, but it's commercial. It all turns into commercial gray grout anyways. You put black, red, or gray, it all turns gray in the long run. So.
I feel like that's all grout, pretty much.
Yeah. It's a mess.
It'll all just fade to the middle.
It all goes to the dirty gray eventually.
Andrew's giving me shit because I went out there. He taught me how to do the mud float walls, and they were like, oh yeah, put the vacuum hose in, suck out the dust. Well, next thing I know, I turned around and the vacuum hose had slipped down and fucking started sucking up the slush. And I'm like, oh shit. But it blew out his fucking hose. So he's like, dude, you broke my hose. I'm like, brother, I'll buy it. Let me know, man.
Man, them hoses on those Milwaukee Vacs are shitty anyways. I've broken so many of those. You just cut it off.
I was like, no.
You just cut it off and then screw it back on.
Oh, too good. He says, no, you're fine. Too good.
That's fucking hilarious, though.
Oh, I know. I was like, God damn it, though. Get sent out, do some work, and the next thing you know, fucked it up. What to know? Too good.
When you do a demo on your jobs, where do you take all the trash to? Is there a landfill around you near, or how do y'all do it?
So I got a nice little spot here. It's up the mountain. So I typically do a lot of mountain work, but it is significantly cheaper, even with the cost of gas to get out there, and it's worth the drive. He'll do like a truck bed for like $30 or like $20. But if I go downtown,
private place,
it's an actual like actual truck company. It's cheap. Yeah. So I'm like,
I either go to Triune, which is $80 for anything up to like a ton or something, or Red Dog, order a dumpster.
Dumpsters. Yeah. I hate getting dumpsters though. It's such a mess, and it tears up the yard, and it's just a mess.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a spot to put it.
Yeah, but downtown's pretty tight, So.
Oh yeah, I mean,
either in their alleyway or in their front yard.
I do a lot of just residential in East Nashville mostly, but
I figured you stayed around that area because why would you ever have to leave? As many houses there is down there, and that age of house and your expertise. I mean, they probably keep you probably within like 8 square, 8.
Yeah, no, I mean,
8 square blocks or so.
Yeah, I can stay between Briley and the river.
It's weird. Like sometimes I'll be in like, I don't know, middle like Nashville, and then months later I'll be in Brentwood for 2 or 3 months. It's just weird how you stay in different spots, So
I used to take jobs out that way, like Franklin area, but it's just, I don't know, the drive in the morning at the end of the day is like, it can just be so much. Like, I'm not trying to drive an hour one way, which I know a lot of people do that, but I mean, it's just.
Man, I just did a Mazda dealership in Chattanooga, and it was like 3 hours away with traffic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess if the money's there, I'll do any job.
Well, the money's there, but it's the drive,
So I got one that's going to be a new build. That's going to be like 5.5, 6 hours away from where I live. So I'm charging them per diem. I'm going to stay in a hotel Monday through Friday, and they're going to get per diem costs. Yep. That way it's just, it's a custom new build. And I'm like, okay, I don't mind. I'll go anywhere in the state, but there comes a point where I'm going to lose more time trying to transit, and it's just got more factors involved that next thing you know, there's an accident tomorrow morning. Well, now I'm not getting to fucking work on time because I'm not staying out there, So it's just, I don't know. I try to do, if it's under 2 hours, then I'll drive. But even 2 hours is kind of pushing it, because if you're putting a full day's work in, and I don't know, it sucks. I've been there, done that one before.
Yeah. I did a couple jobs in Arrington, and that's when I kind of decided, I'm like, I'm just not doing this. But the thing is, I kind of do want to take jobs out that way again, just because the money is out there, like the money caps in East Nashville at like a pretty mid-range, I'd say. It looks like there's a lot of money over here sometimes, but I don't know. It's not like doing jobs out in Brentwood or Cool Springs or something where people will pay $60,000, $70,000 to have their bathroom redone,
Yeah. That's how it is up in the mountains. I mean, it's worth the drive for me, but those are the homeowners, whenever I go out to bid, you can almost guarantee that they just know what they want, and that's all that matters. They just want it to look the way that they want it. And then you've got the ones where any town right here in Denver, I'm finding that those are the ones that are a little more strict to budget. And it's like, okay, but I don't know. There's some points where unless your shower is failing, or unless this thing is failing that you want done, if you can't get it done the correct way, or if it, it might be worth to push it just a little bit more, because I don't know. I've found some people that, like I said, the real unrealistic expectations on what they believe work cost. So I'm like, no, it's insane.
How do you size up your clients? I go in and I can just size you up over the phone. If it sounds like you're gonna be a mess, I'm way too busy for you. It's gonna be 2 or 3 months. So I've had a few that through, and man, it turned into a mess.
Oh yeah. I stopped itemizing everything on my estimate. Now I just do labor, materials. And if they want to sign it, then I'll give them. If they ask for an itemized, I'll give them an itemized. That's fine. But I've had homeowners that have I've seen it because I use Joist whenever they access it. Well, it works great. It's a nice little platform, but this one particular homeowner, he printed out everything, and then he used it to essentially low bid me. So he was like, well, this guy wants to pay this. What can you do? And it's...
Yeah, if somebody else, he says, someone else, this and that, I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. And I just done from there.
Yeah. Now, I've had someone send me someone else's estimate before I come. Like, this guy sent me this. I'm just like, this is fucking insane.
I'm good.
Like, good luck. It was like a floor and shower with prep and materials for like $3,800. I was like, no.
Later.
Not happening.
I got one.
Not. I'm charging you that much for the prep labor and the materials.
Oh, the prep materials. I was looking at this one. They came out to like $1,400, and she's like, "Oh, we thought we could get it all installed for like under $4," and I'm like, "No." I'm like, that is not feasible. I was like, no, not for like 200 square feet. I mean, if we're talking like a tiny little bathroom, we can maybe make something happen on like the floor, but no, you should, in your mind, you should think about 10 grand, give or take, depending if you're doing a whole bathroom, anywhere from 10 to 20 to, like you said, 50, 60, just depends on what we're doing. But I think with TV shows, people see these TV shows and they're all mostly fake, right? So they're throwing a number out and they get all excited. They're like, well, they did all this for $1,200. I'm like, well,
you guys done those? Have you done work for like Property Brothers or any of those guys? All those?
Did you?
We've done a few here in town, and it's weird because they want to leave a couple tiles out so they can come in with their camera crew one day and no one can be there, and they come in and stick a tile. And, they do it, and then they leave, and then you're supposed to finish the job from there, and it's just a waste of time. It's like,
what a trip though.
This bathroom in like 2 weeks. This whole remodel, y'all drug it out 6 weeks just for your TV show, and there's no money in that. So
yeah.
That's another thing. Like a lot of these people on social media, it's like, how do you run a company and keep up with all these social media things? Like some of these bigger guys, some of the like influencers on Instagram and Facebook, YouTube, with all the videos and all the stuff and I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great. Like all the crazy stuff that goes on, but it's like, dude, that like when your client comes in, they're like, what is this dude doing? Like, is this taking, how long is it going to take? Like, I don't know.
I will say, I don't know about, was it Etal, Andrew, when I was out there and he was filming that reel, he put it together within like 15 minutes. And I'm like, holy crap. Like he knew the shot.
You got to have like,
and he knows what to, he's trimmed himself to that level where he knows the shots he can do. He can do it all like that. And it's because I'm still, like you said, there's some that I'll put hours into depending on the editing. And it's like, holy crap.
I'm having a hard time just getting someone's bid out. These dudes are like, they're running.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think, and some guys, they just have a good team behind them that they can trust, that they can fuck around and like make videos and stuff, like if you got some guys that you can be like, all right, tile that wall over there. I'm going to make a video of you doing it.
Yep.
And I'm going to do some goofy stuff and I'm going to talk some and then I'll come back and I'll help you. But I'm doing this right now. Don't fuck up.
I dabbled in it for a while. I was like, dude, I'm not a social media influencer. I'm a tile dude. I'm a general contractor. That's what I am. I'm good. I love watching cool videos though. Like some of these, videos are pretty sweet. Like the spacers shooting up the walls and all the cool stuff.
Yep. I got to make one for a company called Buddy Punch. It'll be my first one getting actually paid for it, so it'll be nice. But I got to get that one out tomorrow, so that way it can go live because everyone's dropping theirs right now. So I'm like, okay, just this campaign that they paid for, so it'll be good. It'll be exciting. Just something very general, but for me, I still work for myself and by myself, so I'm like, I mean, there's only so much I could use that app for right now. It works great in like your situation if you're tracking people's hours and things like that, but for me, it's kind of, I can use it moving down the road, but it's not something I really truly can utilize right now. I mean, unless I'm trying to get into real depth, like, okay, what is the hourly cost? What is my average on this? What is all this? That's the only real reason I would use that tracking. So, but it'll be nice. I'll give it a shot.
I worked alone with people close by, like brothers and stuff, for years because I didn't trust anybody else to do it like I would do it. I knew they weren't going to do it as good. And then after about 4 years ago, when I finally started like letting open, like giving people the rein, like, here you go. This, like, just because I got so stressed out, I'm like, you know what? I've come to the realization that these clients, aren't expecting it as good as I'm going to do it. Sad to say, like I'm going to give it 100%, but somebody's 80% is going to be bought down the road doing the same thing, so I'm going to hire these guys, and if they do 80%, at least I'm there to tweak it, to where I can manage 4 or 5 jobs at a time, and not have to kill myself because I used to wake up early as could be, work till midnight, just trying to keep up, and there was no way to keep up. And I'm like, I'm going to have to hire dudes. I'm losing like jobs. I can't keep up. And it's just, so if I'm going to run 5 jobs, I'm going to have to find 5 separate dudes that can do 80%. And I'm going to come back through and give it my 20% to each job, because I can't afford to give it 100% on one job. Why not
that makes sense, though.
You know what I'm saying?
So that makes sense.
Many years to get that figured out. And it was just fear for me. I guess I was scared to back up and let people do it, because I thought, what, I'm going to ruin my reputation. I'm going to ruin this and that. But I started making more money, have more leads, more jobs when I finally backed up and did it. Like I said, hired some dudes that were going to.
That's what I've been battling, I think.
Dude, it's a hard thing to get over. My wife used to tell me, just hire people. I'm like, you don't get it. You don't get it. These guys are going to screw us up, and then I'm going to be stuck on this job, and I'm going to be behind schedule, and it's just stressful, and then the anxiety of all that comes in, and you're just, oh my gosh, it's terrible.
I think part of it for me too is like not want to because I'm still getting better. You'll never stop getting better.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know if I want to let that go sometimes. It's like, but I got all these ideas and
How old are you? How old are you, Kyle?
30. I'm about to be 34.
34, 35. Oh, yeah. I'm 35. I just turned 35, and I finally, about 4 years ago, slowly kind of backed up, and now I've got to the point where I haven't stuck tile in, 2 years, little things here and there, but I don't, I run around and manage these dudes and keep up. I lay thousands of square feet a week, but I don't actually have to do that. But I have to be there in the mornings and the night, like I told you, but it was so hard to get to that point, because mentally I had hit a wall, and I'm like, there's no way I can trust these dudes to do it like I'm going to do it. But then but like I said, I came to the realization, nobody's going to be able to ever do it like I'm going to do it. And if I don't get over myself, I'm going to keep doing it 100 like this every single day, and I'm going to be 55 doing the same thing, So
the way I looked at it too was, I always said, if you're as good as me and you're doing it, why don't you own your own business? Why aren't you doing what I'm doing?
If you're a junkie and you're honest and you do good work, then there's no reason to work for the other guy. So, that puts us in the hassle all these wild people and just manage all these crazy people, because
there are a set few guys though that I have met that they do amazing work, but they just either don't want the responsibility of running their own business, or it's just something that they can't do. And that was, to me, the kind of the eye-opening, where I was like, okay, I got to give people the chance, yes, there are some that are complete red flags, and you'll be able to tell right away. And I'm obviously going to watch someone work prior to even considering to get you on the team, kind of thing, because it's like you said, I still have trust issues with that, because I've seen, doing the project managing side, I've seen some shit shows, and it's just like, no. But then I've also met some really good people that can do killer work. So I'm like, okay.
I hired this dude one time, never met him, just based off, he'd text me pictures of tile, cool looking stuff. I thought, cool. Yeah. Younger than me. I don't know, maybe in his late 20s. Send me some pictures of stuff he'd done. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, come on, let's do this. Well, the day that I had set up a job for him to start, he said, I'm not going to make it. I've been in a car wreck. And I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Sorry. And then he sent me a picture like a 90s Nissan Altima or something, or Nissan Maxima wrecked. And so I looked at it, and so I Googled, this make and model car wrecked. And it was like the first page, second wreck. I said, bro, if you're going to call out and tell somebody you've been in a wreck, at least go to like the 4th page before you grab the photo. And I just beast mode you like, adios, dude, good luck. Because if you're going to come in like that,
that's what my Uncle Mike, the one that trained me, that was one of the things, his partner Craig, he'd always be like, hey, they want a picture of some work we've done, and he's done multiple things, but he was like, oh, just go to the 5th page on Google, and show them something there. And I was like, God damn it, Mike. I'm like, what are you doing? But that goes back to the fake it before you make it kind of things. And it's just like, nah.
Like Rocksteady says right here, Rocksteady says he hires lifers, man. Me as well. Like, I've got to the point where I'll put the square foot price or whatever I got to do up there just so I can get a good guy in there, and if they're going to work for $10 a square foot, you know, I'm going to bid them $22 a square foot, $8 a square foot, you know, so you can afford to hire somebody that's going to, you know, come in and do it right, you know, and that, I guess when I became a general contractor a few years ago, it kind of opened up my mind to a lot of other things because I had learned how to do everything through my tile company. But then I started realizing, wait a second, I delegate a guy for drywall. I get a guy for trim, windows, you know, block and framing, stuff like that. Why don't I do this with tile? And then that's when my mind was like, okay, you know, and then that's kind of where that wall came down between me and my perfection, you know, how I'm a perfectionist, and I couldn't like ever let go of the reins, let someone else do it. But I was like, wait a second, I do it in all other trades. I've just got some passion towards this trade. You know, this is what I grew up in. You know, I'm second generation tile setter, and, you know, I've been doing it since I was a little kid. So I kind of had some emotional attachment to tile in general, you know? So I was like, wait a second, this is like a personal thing. I got to get over this. So,
yeah,
you know? So, but tile, like I tell other people too, like tile and, you know, marble and stuff like that. It's electricians, they can go out and they can hire a freaking goat, dude. Anybody can pull a wire, and then you need one guy to like hook it up right, you know, like, or plumbers as well. Like anybody can dig trenches and do all the hard stuff, but when it comes down to this tedious stuff, tile is so it's a different
finish.
It's such a different finish that, you know, it's so hard to find guys that are detailed in it that can.
They either have to be making cabinets or do some kind of finish work, you know, where it's precise for you to kind of be able to blend into it. Because I mean, nothing wrong with framers, but if you're a rough-end framer and you're coming in and you're not precise, then you're not going to understand that everything is talking to each other. You're going to clash. So it's definitely, it's a trade that's challenging, but I love the challenge, and that's why I've specialized in it, and it's my love right now.
I've loved it it's been a love-hate relationship for the last 14 years, I'll say. You know, I've been on jobs. I did a Baptist church down in Forest Hills, and about 6 years ago, back when I was like in it every day, covered in thin set, you know, doing it, you know, my day to day. And Christmas break was coming up, and all the guys that work with me from out of town, stuff like that. So everybody's leaving, and there's so much work to do. And these guys are picking up checks and leaving. I just remember sitting in my truck and just thinking, it's just me. This is it. This sucks. Like I couldn't even work. I was so in my mind about the whole, you know, there's just a huge feat ahead of me I had to take care of. But it was just too much. Have you ever been there? Like you're just sitting there thinking like, I've taken on way too much. And I have
you didn't even know where to drive first.
You're just sitting there in your head, just in the parking lot of the place, just like, holy crap, what did I get myself into? Like, I don't even want the money. Here's the checks. Take the checks back. It's too much, you know, so.
Just respond to some of our comments real quick. Kip's talking about they got to be able to mingle with the crew as well on the team. If they don't have that camaraderie, then they're out of there. And I totally agree. Especially if you've already established a team, you're not trying to replace that team. You're trying to build onto it. So you got to definitely got to look out for everybody in that realm.
Hired a lot of Spanish guys that taught me a lot of Spanish. And I mean, they're some of the funniest people I've ever met. Like if you come in and you got a good humor about you, man, we're going to be all right. You know, it's fun. These people are funny. So.
Hell yeah. Mario says you got a nice damn office.
This is actually a house that I built for my in-laws that I'm living in their house right now. Cause I just sold mine that I built 2 years ago. So I'm here for a little while, and then I'm building my house on the back side of the farm right now. So it's been a wild last 30 days, dude, between tile work and vacation and selling my house and packing everything up and moving it into a pod and then moving things into here with my wife and my 2 kids. And then, dude, it's been a heck of a go. So I've been trying to get a hold of him. He's like, hey, you good? You good? And I just like, dude, I've been busy. So
yeah, you're good, man.
So.
Is it just going to be your mother-in-law or your parents-in-laws in that house, and then you said you're building yours behind it, essentially on that group of land, or are you trying to?
We've built a few houses. Me and my wife have built. This will be our 4th house that we've built out here on the farm, and you know, we just buy 2 acres from my father-in-law. He bought the farm back in 2000s. I'll just buy 2 acres from him for, what's fair. And, he's a retired general contractor and he's taught me everything he knows. Like I've had a lot of mentors that have got me where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? Like
That's awesome.
in the tile world and the construction world and the life of the world, So
yeah,
he's one of my mentors and we've done it. And I've helped him do all kinds of builds and he's helped me do all kinds of builds. And I got my GC license 2 years ago. So I'm kind of on my own doing it now and just built my sister a house down in Gillisville. And, we just did footers today. I mean, my 9-year-old and my 11-year-old out there, setting the pins and the footer for the concrete guys, so
that's awesome.
We stay busy, good stuff. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, man. I need to ride by one of your job sites one day.
Yeah, dude. Next time I'm around, I'll let you know, one in Nashville or whatever. So
yeah, man, let me know.
Sure.
I'm always in East.
I hadn't done any work out there in a while. East Nashville, I had a bid out there. I bid it, and they told me I was too high, so I didn't do it.
Oh, yeah? Where was that at?
That was on Eastland, and what was that? Where that Kroger is? You know where Kroger is back there?
Yeah.
That backside, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I bid one last year right around there. They said it was out of their budget. I wonder if it's the same person.
We're in Nashville, Tennessee. Rocksteady. He's asking where we're at. I'm actually north of Nashville, about 20 minutes. Kyle lives downtown. So.
You're somewhere in between
here
me
and
Kip.
Hell yeah.
Kip's just north of Tennessee.
Who's that? Who's Kip?
Rocksteady.
Okay. I don't know people by names. I'm not the best. I see your tile name, whatever. I see Kip. I see his name's Kip. I see his insurance commercial on social media all the time. It's like I drove miles and this and that. I said, man, I know you did. I think that's who that is. I don't know.
Yeah, with the mile IQ.
No.
Yep.
Oh, Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Yeah, so you're not far from me. I'm in Greenbrier, Tennessee. That's Hopkinsville's probably 45 minutes to an hour from here, or something like that, right? Or is that Bowling Green?
He says 45 minutes north of Nashville. So.
Oh yeah, so he's not far from me at all. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So.
Hell yeah.
So.
Well, you got any other topics or questions we want to touch on, Kyle?
Man, I'm sure we can come up with something. Nah, I don't know, man. This has been great, though, dude.
You're awesome, brother.
You're just full of knowledge and good stuff.
Man, the last 14 years, I've learned a lot of things, either the hard way or the right way, So
sure. Yeah, especially in being second generation with it and everything. That's super.
And the funny thing, you said you were remodeling your house, and that's how you got into doing tile, and you liked it or whatever because you just didn't have the money to do it. My dad, the way that he got into tile in I don't know, the early 90s, whenever he did, he used to sell windows, and he was doing windows, and he needed somebody to put some marble seals in these windows the client wanted, if you're familiar with the old marble way, how people used to put marble in window seals. And he did it himself with thin set, and he thought, wow, that's pretty cool. It turned out nice. And then he said from then on, he started looking into tile, and he got into tile himself, self-taught, And when he came to Nashville, like I said, Ceramic Tile Distributors off Fog Street. Did you ever know about that company? Like Fog Street over there by Frugal McDougal and that side of town.
Mm-hmm. There
was an old tile store down there that he used to go down to, and they kind of took him under his wing and taught him how to do mud beds, like all the liners, all the good stuff, And he just was their tile dude in Nashville, in the early 90s. He did they gave him all kinds of work and taught him how to do tile, And that's how he got going. So
yeah, that's all.
And then he had 9 kids, so he had to tile as much as he could,
Right. Tile
so.
Is he or is that shop still there? They're not there
anymore. No, they sold it, and there's like condos down there now, same as everything. They actually moved out to Lebanon. There's they're called Nashville Tile. I don't know, something tile, but they're in Lebanon. It was a family-owned company, but they were just sort of like what's a small, like Geotile, if you're familiar with Geotile, like that, like a smaller distribution place, something like that. So
I gotcha. Renaissance. You ever been to Renaissance style?
Renaissance. We get pool coping from there for pools and stuff. So
pretty bougie little shop.
So
we don't. I wish we had more tile places up here that weren't big companies. You know what I mean? There's not too many.
Yeah, you got like Dow Tile and Imser and stuff like that. Where are you at? We're out in Colorado. Where are you at?
So I'm over by like Littleton area, but right southern side of Denver.
Where's Loveland from there?
So about from where I live, probably about an hour up. So Denver. Oh, okay.
My sister, she just moved back from Loveland. She's back in Nashville now. So
hell yeah. I've done a couple projects out in Loveland. It's nice, and then Fort Collins is right above it, and then you get up to Wyoming at that point. But it's nice, and they've got some good stores up there too. There's a Dow Tile up in Loveland. They were the first ones that started stocking hydro block products up there, and now, from what I've been told, they've now started.
Yeah. Do you use Hydroband? Do you guys like Hydroband?
Hydroband?
I use it for practice lessons. I use it for waterproofing. Like
I got a tub of it in my back seat right now.
Dude, I got a couple 5-gallon buckets of it in the barn. I'm ready to put it somewhere. I was actually going to use it in my basement of this new house. I was going to block it. Do that.
It's the only liquid membrane, that I really like.
Yeah.
One coat.
Hell yeah.
You can do two if you want, but
just hide it.
Says it does it in one coat. No, that's good shit. I've been using in my showers though that no flow membrane, which is dope.
Where is that from?
Flow Effects, right?
Flow Effects.
Oh, Flow Effects. I've seen those. Never used one. I've seen them. And the first time I learned about them was from that company Built with Foam. Yeah. Dude, they built me the coolest lazy boy for the steam shower I did.
I don't know how I didn't see that, but I was on your page earlier.
You just saw it where I was sanding that thing down a while back?
That thing is fucking dope, dude.
And we heated it, dude. We got it heated, so you're like a lizard on a rock. Like it
Hell
goes
yeah.
the Schluter wire goes through, and then it goes up the side, and then the top. I put the membrane on top, the Dietra heat membrane, and then clicked it in. So that's actually in the house I'm in now for my father-in-law. I did that for him, so he's chilling on that thing,
Shower Concepts, they're local here. They do it's essentially the same thing as Built for Foam as well, or Built with Foam. They just don't have the shim kit, but they make these crazy things out of their heat wire that they can do with the high density foam. And I was even I went and had an interview with one of their GCs here, and I was showing him because he's like, well, what do they have, besides custom pans? I said, well, shit, they got anything, dude. You can go in there, like you said, get those nice arch benches. It just saves you time from us having to actually craft it versus them cut it and just set it, and you're good to go. They have the archway, ceiling, and everything.
I got that custom made from Built with Foam, and then when he shipped it out, it came with the extra pieces that were holding it together. That was just where they run the hot wire. So I took the other side, and my buddy that works with me took some Curdy board, traced it out, and went and made a recessed tub with it.
Oh, hell yeah!
It was like penny around down the back of it, and it was like step in, And
that's it.
So I kept the form to trace, and I don't want to tell them that. I don't know if they're on here, but
no, they're not.
Just to duplicate
you did Paul on here one time though.
Paul's working around here somewhere.
Right? Oh shit!
No, but they did an excellent job. If you guys ever need something by them, I mean they're good guys. I mean, I got on the phone with them, had a little conversation.
Paul on here, that shop is intense, and the way that
really, I missed that one.
Oh, it was sick. No. He was able to explain the whole.
I think that one's on YouTube too. So you can actually go back and watch that.
Go back and look at that.
No, but yeah,
those good people.
Man, Paul's super knowledgeable too. He's just cool to talk to and pick his brain. Like
getting to see him at brings some awesome
off the air things he shared with us too that remain undisclosed. But it's just like, wow, this guy. Yeah, if you get a chance to talk with him, ask him as many questions as you can. Because
I spoke with him a few times on the phone. It was strictly bench and this and that and measurements. And before I knew it, I didn't even pay for the thing. I have a box on the front step, and I'm like, bro, I need to pay you. So I sent him the money. He's like, you already sent this thing out. I don't trust people like that. I mean, I guess I should. But
oh yeah, that's the other thing, man. When I first ordered my first Built with Foam shim kit, I didn't set up a contractor account, and then I set it up like an hour after I ordered it because I was just screwing around on the website checking things out. He ended up sending me back money like later, like, oh, you get a discount because you're a contractor. It's just like, man, you could have just kept that. I've never known, like
that's good business.
What a genuine human.
That's good business. Well, hell yeah. Just seeing, don't really have any other questions on here coming through.
Yeah,
brother, this has been awesome. I'm definitely. Mario said he started following you, so he's gonna be checking out your work now.
I mean, if we talk for a while, I'll come up with some more stuff, but whatever.
Hell yeah. You got any other topics you're thinking about?
How do you guys, what do you use to move your materials? Are you trailers? Are you box trailers? How do you run your, what do you do? Are you box trailers? Are you trucks, vans? How you doing it?
So I do it out of my truck if it's within means. Otherwise, I'll just, I get free delivery depending on which shop I'm going to. So I'll just get them to ship out. And then if we have the room at that project, just get it delivered. Seems to work for the most part pretty good. Last time they sent me half my order because the homeowners bought the tile separate, and then I bought all the prepping materials and they forgot to send the prepping materials. So I could have scheduled another one, but I ended up just picking it all up in my truck. But I really wish I could get a trailer. I've got an HOA, and unless I have something that I can go park it at a storage unit, and still it just doesn't make the convenience factor there. So I mean, next house after having this, I want to make sure that it's HOA I don't have one, so that way I can get this box trailer, keep my tool trailer, and or have something.
Have a box trailer in the HOA, huh?
Oh, it's insane. We can't have it in our driveway, and then the county I live in, they just
no RVs or nothing, right?
No RVs, no trailers,
no boats.
No boats. No boats.
Jeremiah was like, well, park it on the street, you're good to go. But then now the county I live in, they just passed a new one. You can't park RVs or trailers on the street. So I'd constantly have to just shuffle it around. And I'm like, nah, dude, it's not worth it. I mean, it is worth it, but it's the time and what it's going to cost. It's just, I can't do it right now.
One thing that I do for my clients is I tell them, hey, tell me where the tile's at, put me in as a pickup. We're going to pick it up. Takes all that steam off them. I'll go pick up as many pallets as they need. And I bought it's like a dump trailer. We use it for trash and all kinds of stuff. So I'll go and just pick up whatever, bring it out to the jobs and unload it. The thing that sucks is I have no way to get it off the truck other than, unless it's a commercial job, then we got Lowell's and forklift, stuff like that. But residential, it's all just taking it off the trailer box by box. So that day we'll call in like 3 or 4 dudes if it's a bunch of tile. Because, I'm 35 years old. I know that's young. But in tile years, that's got to be like 60 years, right? Dude. I mean, somewhere in there. Oh, yeah. Right?
Grinding away your knees and picking up bags and bags. Yep.
Back. I'm back.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think helps out the client. Like, yeah, I'll pick up all the materials. You just buy the tile. Like when I price them, unless they want me to buy the tile, but usually I'll price a job, come in and, you guys just buy the tile. Tell me what color grout you want. I'm going to go get everything else. Here's how much everything else is going to cost. Just take all that stuff off their mind to where, okay, they want this tile, get that tile. We're going to go get all the prep. Everything's done. Make it easier on the client. They don't have to move things. All they have to do is pick the tile, buy the tile, so they have a little skin in the game. And
I'll do it one of 2 ways because homeowners will ask, okay, on the material cost, can you add tile? And it's, unless they give me a budget of what they're trying to try to put that tile into, I can do that easily. Otherwise, I tell them you can buy tile that's like $1 a square foot all the way up to like 40, 50, depending on which store you're going into. Yeah. So, I mean, it's such a wide way.
That's how I got out of like trying to budget, because that can turn into a nightmare.
It's insane.
I've
tried it for a while and it could turn into a nightmare. You budget something at like $20 a square foot. It doesn't work.
I've never sold a job like that. I'm always like, buy your own shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way to be. Even on these commercial jobs, all the commercial jobs, buy everything. Like,
vanities, all these different things too, because the way that the design, the who you're getting it from, they're all just widely priced so differently. I'll like I said, if we put a budget together, I can take care of it all. I'll run things by you. Yeah, it's obviously going to charge me time and stuff like that in there when I'm getting the estimates. Otherwise, you get what you want, give it to me, I'll install it and give you a labor price. That's fine too.
Yeah, my tile pickup fee is $250, and it's in the materials.
Yep.
It's in there. Yep. It's added to it. So
that's exactly what I charge too.
That could take a half a day. You go to Floor & Decor, bro, you're sitting there for a good 3 hours.
Fuck yeah.
They're so slow.
Oh, hey, we have you scheduled for Friday.
2 hours today to get some Raven caulk off a pallet in the back.
We got you scheduled for pickup this day. You show up there, bro, you're on their clock. You work for free. Like, you're there 3 hours. No joke. I was there 3 hours one time. It was no good. So I try to call ahead. Same thing. You're still waiting an hour and a half. So
no.
Yeah, if I'm going to be sitting at the tile store, I'm going to be making at least $50 an hour, right? That's fair.
Yeah, I charge $250 to dump. I charge $250 to go pick up materials per store even. So I mean, if it's just a caulking tube and stuff, but if I'm having to actually get a list and then go and pull things myself and load it up and deliver it, I'm charging that.
This dude said Floor & Decor points. For the longest time, I didn't even know they did that. I found out the other day they did, and this guy showed me, and dude, I have a lot of points. I was like,
get some Yeti coolers.
I'm like, we got to look at
some trips, dude.
I looked at a pamphlet of like little things the other day.
Yep.
I was there. I hadn't had a chance to look back at it, but I was like, dang, you can get like all kinds of cool stuff,
you get a ton of shit. I wish they gave us a percentage.
I'd have been buying a lot more there. I didn't know that. Because Louisville Tile has been like our main source, for years.
I just wish they had some kind of like a contractor discount where they can, essentially you save money on products versus having points. Because every once in a while I get stuff out of the tile shop and I at least get 25% to 35% depending on what I'm getting.
The tile shop has some good stuff, but man, do they like that price. And
that it is.
All the Ardex they have there is
insane. You're paying like $70 a bag if you're not getting a discount on it for that X77.
Yeah, for like a bag of grout.
Yeah. So that's where
Ardex is a good brand. Ardex has good stuff. I love their leveler. The Ardex leveler, was it IEX7 or something like that? What is that? Something like that. Their leveler is good. It's expensive, but it's good. So
I haven't gotten to work with any. I've worked with the X5 thin set and the X77. I haven't gotten to work with the X4 yet, but yeah, Ardex is good. I don't have any problems with it. I will say, compared to the humidity up here, we don't get humidity in Colorado, so it's lack of.
No, dude, I just got back from Idaho and just like walked into the lake. It was horrible, dude. Like so bad here.
Well, it'll set up that thin set so much quicker. So I mean, there are companies like Mopay and
nothing here.
Oh, coming from Austin, Texas,
leave a bag of grout in your shed out there for a week or two and come back to some rocks.
Oh yeah.
The top layer, you gotta make the top layer off.
You can't leave anything outside.
Yeah. Even if you tape it and whatever, it don't work.
Oh God, no.
There's probably
you can turn your points into Visa gift
hard
cards.
Bags of concrete behind my fence over here, where I just chuck them over my fence. Like,
dude, I feel bad. My old house, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, I had a spot on the back of the property where I just throw tile and bags of stuff, like the train tracks, and there's a large pile back there in the woods.
Yeah, now I tear all the paper off of them. I just burn it off first, but there's a at least 30 like just hardened bags of concrete and other things.
Oh yeah,
just man-made rocks behind my fence.
Was it Amos? He's got that creek behind his house, and he uses the buck. What is it, like the beast mixer or the bucket saver? Makes the little pucks, and he actually has them for stepping stones. Yeah. So I'm like, shit. Seal them so that we don't have to have them ever diluting into the water. But shit, fuck it. Multi-purpose.
Are you still using the bucket saver, Rob?
I use both. Yeah, I use my
I've never used the bucket saver.
I had two. I don't know.
I've never used it. I just use a new bucket. I'm a bad guy. I find the painters and I capitalize on mini buckets. This last job, dude, they sprayed like the one section was like 11,000 square feet or 10,000 square feet of 12 by 12 tile. But above that was just like this massive open room at that car lot. And they sprayed the ceilings so much paint. I mean, we had buckets, wall to wall buckets.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like mix, use, throw away. I mean, it's going to get thrown away anyways, but
I go to Firehouse Subs. I don't know if they got them out there in Nashville, but Firehouse Subs, they'll sell you for $3 the bucket that it's a 5-gallon bucket that they ship their pickles in. So I'm like, fuck yeah.
That's cheaper than Home Depot.
That's what I'm saying. You can't get a $3 bucket used to be what they cost back in the day. And it's like, fuck that, dude. If I'm going to throw it away, I'm getting those. And I got 2 beast mixers. That's what I use to mix my mud in. And then I've got 3 bucket savers that I use for water. So I have one to clean the drill, one to actually wipe things down, and then one I clean with clean water. And I like them. I like them.
Man, I don't miss that at all. The bloody knuckles in the middle of January, wiping out a bucket. I don't miss it.
Oh, dude. It saves me so much time at the end of the day. Just hit it down, and you're good to go.
Seen those the next day they sell too. It's like a green mixer with little things off the side. It's supposed to clean it up. I've never used it. It's supposed to whip out the bucket real quick and then pour it out.
I know Kohler makes one, and
you know what I'm talking about, like a plastic thing, something like that.
Yeah, I think Bahiri makes one.
So I was at Florida Core a couple days ago, and was it Goldblatt? That's the company that they sell there. They actually make a bucket insert now too, and it's like $67. So you can actually buy it. It looks just like the bucket saver. So I'm like, fuck.
Oh, really?
I kind of wanted to get it and see how it operated. If it's any different.
My brother just texted me, and he's talking about a guy that used to work with us. Did you ever meet a guy named Dave Jung? You ever meet Dave Jung? Dreadlocks. He was a really good tile setter, man. He worked with us for years. We met him at Omni Hotel. And so we're working at Omni Hotel. Here's a quick story. We're working at Omni Hotel, and there was a couple different subcontractors on that job. It was such a big job. The main contractor was Twin Stone out of Miami. But Dave Jung was working with another guy that was another tile contractor. He's like 3 or 4 on the job. And we were working one late night, and this is how I met Dave. I walked in, and he's in there just blazing. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He said, it's cool. The superintendent said we could smoke. It's like 10 o'clock at night. It's like, dude, he's talking about cigarettes, man. But I was like, put it out, bro, put it out. There's like security guard, whatever. But Dave was a good dude. He's a good setter, and he was with us. He worked with me for, probably 5 years. And then him and Sam, my other brother Sam, they branched out and did tile for many years after that. And he passed away just last year. But he was a good dude, man. He just texted me and said Dave would have loved the tile time. So, but Dave, he was a great tile setter.
Yeah, no,
hell yeah.
But yeah, I remember Sam making a post about him not too long ago.
He's a good dude, man. We had a lot of fun. So, but
hell yeah. Right
on, man. That's cool.
We had a guy that does where I used to work, the countertops, and when you said that name, he actually had the exact same name, Dave Junk. And that's what made me think. I was like, wait a second, is this a small world? But no, that's just it was a common name apparently.
Just a tile and stone name.
Hell yeah. I didn't realize they said that you could Florida Core points, you can get a Visa gift card. So you can actually.
I saw like gas cards, stuff like that, Visa money cards. I saw that. I need to look.
Right. So you can get the money back.
Try to.
Spendable.
The cool thing is like, I got a credit card through Southwest Airlines, right? And I'll buy everything on that Southwest Airlines, and the client pays it back. I mean, my wife is my companion pass. She's the companion pass. She flies with me, so we haven't bought flights in years, just the taxes, like the $12. It's a good thing to do. Like if you want to go on vacation 3 or 4 times a year, like I try to do, and you have free flights pretty much, just get a Southwest credit card, buy all your materials. I mean, the client's paying you back for it. So it's like you pay it back before it's due. You don't pay the interest, but you still acquire the points. So they're buying you flights for
win-win.
I didn't even know that world of things,
Oh yeah.
The Southwest credit card. Yeah.
I did read an article.
I knew that credit cards were bad. The way I grew up knowing about them, credit cards are bad. Don't touch credit cards, you know.
Yep.
So,
well, if you get into debt, that's bad.
That.
Yeah, but if you stay on top of it, which my wife does my books and does all that, she's great at it. You know, I'll get paid from these jobs, all the material. They'll, you know, pay it right back before the cards due, and then there's no interest. I mean, it's a good deal. So
you're winning.
Fly all over the place. So
I fly Southwest a lot too, and I read an article. They said that I don't know when they're going to do it, but they're going to change it now to like pretty much be like every other airline. So it's going to be, you're going to have set seats, and then they're going to have the staggered, you know, where you want to sit. If it's preferred, you're going to pay more. All this kind of stuff. I'm like, dude, I wish they did not. That was the one thing I liked about it was, so I use them a lot whenever I'm traveling to different states. It was, especially if it's just me flying and it's not my family, then I can just go on and I don't give a shit where I sit. So I'm like, it just makes it that much harder now. But when I do fly with my families, I like having those set seats because then I know, okay, we're not going to, depending on when we board, we're all going to sit by each other because I can't have my kids be by themselves, man. They're not at that age, nor do they behave like they can be. So,
we get on an airplane. Me and my boys will sit in the 3 row, and then we kind of leave my wife out there. You know, she got to sit by the big fat guy or the random lady. You know, it's better.
Hell yeah!
Just a better way.
Shit, I'm always running to the if I'm not on the first seat, which I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'll put my stuff up there. I don't need my backpack in front of me. Or I'll run over to the emergency exit because there's a lot of people that don't like that. I'm like, oh man, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not like by any means a giant, but I'm not also small. So I'm like, if I can get that extra room, I want it. So, hell yeah. Oh, that's right. Mario works for a airline. He flies for free too. That's awesome.
You can fly people for free too, I think. Fly you out for a job.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Jesus, he said he had up to 400,000 points with Florida Core. That's intense.
Yeah, he said he cashed out for $1,000 Visa card.
Yeah.
2 of them.
So if you're buying those big commercial jobs, you need to get your stuff at Florida Core.
Well, the cool thing about most of these big commercial jobs is I don't have to have much skin in the game. They buy everything.
You just labor.
Yeah, just straight labor to where you show up and, you know, at least you're not in the floor 50 grand before you get paid, you know? So.
Yeah.
I like that. That's nice because then it's not like, oh, you didn't bid for, you know, metal edging. We want metal edging. It was in the contract. Now you're out of pocket, you know? And it's like, that's the kind of shit that avoids that. I like that. If they just supplied everything and you're just doing the labor, that's the way to do it.
There's a company here in Nashville that I've made a pretty good relationship with. They're a straight up interiors company, a commercial interiors company. And he'll call me. He'll be like, hey, how much a square foot for this? And I'll tell him, he'll throw it in the bid because he's just getting the sell. He's not worried about the profit of that. He just wants to sell through the materials and the markup. You know, they're a large company. So I do all of their commercial work, you know, and it's been a great relationship because, you know, they can't keep up with people. Like you can't keep up with all these people when you're trying to do that side of things. So I'm like the boots on the ground for them, you know? So works out good.
I got actually just partnered up with, he owns
Mario said he's flying to Nashville. Who's got work for him?
Dude, where?
He's coming to Nashville.
Man, I could put him on the floor somewhere.
Come on, Mario. Come help me do these fancy ass bathrooms I gotta do next month, stressing me out. Terrazzo tile and shit.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Fucking concrete made tiles, man. I swear to God, dude.
Man, we got a bunch of those from Tile Bar, and I swear we had to order them like 10 times before we finally got the full order that wasn't broke. You ever ordered from Tile Bar?
Yeah, dude. The pallet always looks like they fucking.
It looks like they kicked it off the back of a truck, and
it looks like they threw it into place.
And it's not cheap tile. Tile Bar's high dollar stuff here and there, you know.
It is.
It shows up and everything's busted. I'm like, we got like 3 square feet out of the 75 we ordered.
Yeah, I get some.
They're like, we'll put them back in the boxes and send them back. I'm like, no.
Yeah, we get some 24 by 48s. They were like busted out of the box, like just sitting on the pallet. I'm like, are you shitting me? What the fuck?
What's up with that? I don't know why.
Where I used to work prior to me running my business, they'd get all their plumbing parts. They originally got it from Ferguson. And, you know, for the most part, everything came in beautiful. And then they started having some problems with getting some materials. Ferguson was back ordered. So they found someone else here in Colorado that they somehow were able to source this material. But like you said, when you would go pick these things up, dude, it's like, holy shit, did they just like kick the fuck out of this shit? Like it was beat to hell. I'm like, no. But hey, it's in there. But I'm like, no, dude, I don't know. It just bugged the shit out of me. I'm like, I know where I'm not getting my shit from, and it's here. Because the way y'all treat it, it's fucking no, dude. And I don't care if it's within shipping. It was more than that. It was like, no, you guys just don't give a fuck what's in this box because it's protected. But I don't know. It's all impressions. You bring something like that into a homeowner's house, I wouldn't feel happy about that, you know, especially if you're paying, you know, not a discounted rate. It's like, dude, that shit's going to be damaged or has a real good chance of being damaged.
Do you guys, when you go to a client's house and you're doing an estimate and all that, and when you submit a bid, do you draw up anything? Do you have any elevations for them to look at, or how do you go about that? Do they usually have something, or do you have like a designer middleman? Like, you know how a lot of people have designers nowadays and they'll just do it for you and it's pretty sweet. But if you don't, do you have to like try to get some sort of elevation drawn up yourself, or how do you go about it?
I offer a SketchUp model if they want to pay for it, but you know, I don't just give it to them. Yeah,
because they're just going to run with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it takes time. It's not like I can go home and just tell the computer AI, like, we're doing this with this kind of tile, blah, blah, blah. You know, I got to sit there and.
I got a couple designers I worked through, and it's pretty sweet to have that design aspect. Someone that's their whole gig. You know, they come in, they have the drawings with what grout goes where, the caulk with what, you know, the shower pan, the drains, all the stuff, you know. You got to bring them back down to earth every now and again and be like, look, that rose gold, whatever you got there is not going to match this drain. And that drain you bought, it's not going to work. I don't know where you got that drain from overstock.com or whatever. I mean, that's garbage.
Or the 24 karat wonky metal edging that's going to cost like $500 a stick. You're like, hold on now.
And then they try to order stuff. Yeah, they order you 3 sticks. You actually need 12.
Yeah. Hold on now.
It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to like get your client to visualize what you're putting out there. You know, have you had that issue where you're just like, I know what to do here. I know how it's going to turn out. And I know you're going to be happy, but I don't know how to have you visualize that. You know, verbally, it's going to be good, but you got to see something, right? A lot of clients are like that, right?
But I think when you work with those materials and stuff, it, like you said, it's in your head. The fireplace I just did, I described how I wanted it done because they had just bought just raw stacked stone. And I'm like, you're going to see your raw edges. There's no ways, you know, you don't want to be sitting on your earth bench and have sharp marble tile underneath you that's scratching on you. So I used 2x2 border pieces and mitered them all and made it look nice and pretty the way it needed to. And at the end of it, he's like, dude, this design is awesome. He's like, you totally nailed it. And it's like, you know, there was a certain trust until they actually could see what I explained to him. I laid it out, but it was like, this is the way it needs to be. And it looked awesome. But like you said, it would have been nice to have actual rendering. I need to look into. I mean, I'm totally open to that. And like you said, I think
it's pretty sweet when you have somebody that can get with your client. I mean, it costs money, and it's got to be a certain type of client that can do so. But when you get something in the middle of that deal that can handle all that for you, and you just get to do tile and look at the paper, I mean, it's pretty cool. So this guy, he says, what's the most expensive tile I have ever broken, or if you guys have ever broken? I was working on the face of a restaurant, and there was like some Walker Zanger, like high, like water jet mosaics. You familiar with Walker Zanger tile at all? Have you ever worked with that stuff? Like high dollar designer tile, like super expensive. Well, I'm putting this stuff in the front of this restaurant. You know, we're doing it, and it's looking good. I think it looks great. Well, one of the guys comes in, designers or whoever it was. He says, "You know, that looks good, but it's the herringbone's supposed to go up and down, not left to right." And we had this glue that we were using was like not mastic. It was like worse than that because we're going to this front wood panel. It was like almost like VCT glue or something to really get it to adhere. You know what I'm talking about? Just that.
Yeah.
So it wrecked like 12 square feet of like $90 square foot tile. And my brother's like, yeah, it looks good, but you suck. And he was going to take it all off, throw it away.
Fuck.
No,
That's the most expensive tile I've ruined.
And that's the one thing that worries me is like Mario said, because a lot of these ones are going into these large sheets, like the 10 foot by 5 foot. Like, yeah, if you break that, that's just gut wrenching. I see large these videos.
Man, that's so scary.
I've cut some expensive like 18 by 36 textured tile where it's like directional, you know.
Oh yeah,
they'll have like arrows on the back, so you know, like this is the top. But sometimes they'll have like stickers on them that are arrows too. And I was just going through these boxes, not really paying attention. Well, the stickers were backwards on one. I wasn't like checking them. And yeah, I cut like the whole side wall of tiles.
I've done it
the wrong side, and it's just like, fuck, dude. You know,
I tiled the whole bathroom with the wrong tile that's supposed to be upstairs before, and had to take it out.
Oh god,
it's like 4 in a box. I'm like, I blew through like 2 boxes. I'm just like, oh, now I gotta tell the client like,
I suck.
And
I don't know what happened to your quantities, but we need like 5 more boxes, dude. You already know.
Like, oh god, and they sucked to work for anyways. So it was just like
the big 5 by 10 or like 5 by 10 panels. Have you worked with those? Or seen those?
I haven't worked with
them. I've seen them.
Terrifying because like I have like this vision of one breaking, like cutting my neck or something. You know?
I know some like destination shit.
Just scary, you know. Coming in with the big window cups to move them in and out, and it's just
and
one of those things, and it's 4 feet in the air above your head. I mean, that's heavy.
They're a lot thinner too, so
yeah, they're
they're more likely to like shard and slice you.
Yeah, they.
I mean, I see guys using Grabos, but I mean, you almost need the actual like the 6 set so that it's got the brace.
Moving glass with a rack. You need the whole rack. Yeah.
Yep.
Luckily, I've not had to fool with those much. I had a contractor that did those, but I told him straight up, look, I'm not the guy for that. You know what I'm saying?
Industry is shifting. When we were over at Coverings, I mean, there was a gobsome of large format.
Dude, that's like where everything's headed, and I'm wondering, like, you know.
Do you know Reform Design Build? I'm trying to think of the guy's actual name. Is it Dustin? He's a contractor here in town.
Dustin, that used to be at Tile Shop.
I don't know. But
I've seen that name, I think, but I don't know who that is.
Reform Design Build is the company. I don't know. They hit me up a while back. Like, you do slabs. Is like,
yeah,
dude. I've seen how. I mean, I'll try it. I got to buy some tools.
Well, at least you got the hands on, because that's where I'm like, if we're gonna start going that's when I have to expand, because otherwise I've got to get another guy that I can just have on rotation. Because it's
and you see these dudes taking these panels and mitering these bad boys and like putting them 20 feet in the air on these massive fireplaces and stuff. I'm like,
oh, you're talking about like the crazy Russian dudes?
Yeah, who is that dude?
Oh, like Alexander Boriskin.
I don't know. They do all the sketchy stuff over there.
Crazy shit, man. Cutting out like buttons in the tile and mounting it to fixtures.
I know, and I'm like, dude, do you guys also plumb them as well? Because how does this all interpret like throughout the trades? How does this work out? He's like, sometimes we have to do plumbing. I messaged some dude about it a while back. It's like, yeah, sometimes we move the plumbing to make it work and stuff like that. So I guess you got to, with all that intricate, like real close cut stuff. So
I'm gonna be mitering here.
Do you guys remember a guy named Kevin Millard? It was like he's like a guy in like Great Britain or something like that. Sussex Tile. You remember Sussex Tile?
Yeah.
That guy, man, he's a good dude. Some of his stuff was crazy cool, like the artistic stuff. I got a picture here in my office, one that he drew and sent to me like, I don't know, 12 years ago. Check this out. It's pretty cool. He drew this for me.
You know? Oh, dude, that's sick.
Pretty cool. Awesome. Kevin Millard's his name. Sussex Tile. If you don't follow him, maybe check him out. I don't know if he's like on a bunch anymore, but he used to be.
What's that guy putting up there? Some like Zia handmade?
And he's just doing it. Something cool. Yeah, some of that Zia stuff. that concrete. But yeah, Kevin Miller is Sussex Tile. He's a good guy. Does good work, cool artistic stuff. So
yeah, that's a super cool photo, man. Drawing.
Super sick.
So good stuff.
I got my kids' artwork. That's what I've got on my walls.
I don't have any of my stuff. That's like the only picture I have. I'm living in my in-laws' house for the next 8 months while I build mine. So
I got a picture of my dog. There's my dog.
There you go.
There you go. I got new stuff. I gotta hang on the walls in a little bit. Was fucking excited about this though. I ordered this like a year ago. It's some special edition Hot Wheels. I got 2 of them, but it fucking took a whole year to get this thing. It's like a jacked up little Nissan Skyline R33 with some like actual real rubber tires. Had to
Bro,
get it
you
off
got a crisscross crash?
And dude, this thing is sick, man. I'm like, holy shit. I forgot I had ordered it, and then they sent me a shipping out thing, and I'm like, oh, that's right, dude. I ordered that like last fucking July. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Hot Wheels, so I've got everywhere.
So, and I had tons of those when I was a kid. I don't know what happened to them.
Probably worth some money now, man. I'm telling you.
Maybe they're at my mom's house. Maybe if I find them, I'll send them to you.
Dude, that's what got me hooked was when I realized like some of these are worth some serious money, and I'm like, okay. I was like, this kind of sparks my interest again, and I don't know. I look for these treasure finds and the super treasure finds, and I'm like,
I don't feel like I have any hobbies. I just work all the time. Feels like building something. I guess that's my hobby. You know,
dude, same. I went to go see a buddy play the other night, and he was playing a song we wrote together, and they're like, "Get up and sing it with him." I was like, "Nah,
man." I played drums. I used to play drums, and me and Sam, we used to play in a gig, the Disrespect. We had a lot of fun, just going around town, just trashing places when we were younger. You know, kicking the drums over, just having a good time. I was a drummer for a long time, played drums and all that. So.
Yeah,
I used to skateboard a bunch, and I broke out the skateboard.
I see you got the Vulcan shirt on.
Yeah,
I
used to skateboard a bunch, dude. And I got really good at it.
I thought that at some point earlier. I was like, this dude must have used to skateboard or something.
Dude, I think, honestly, here, I'll go down that trail for a minute. So all of the dudes that I run into that are in business, that are maybe like trim carpenters that do like a really good job, or tile guys, or like whatever, a lot of them that I've met are like ex-skateboarders, or still like dabble a little bit, you know? And I think that skateboarding has like some sort, this is just me, I think skateboarding has like so many aspects of it are the same as construction and like art and stuff like that, to where you learn quick. Look, you're going to jump off this thing and something cool is going to happen. You're going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Between them, there's going to be that suspense, right?
Not only that,
but if you don't go ahead and just do it, you're going to feel that suspense. Might as well just see if it works out. And I think that the go for it mindset comes from like skateboarding or riding dirt bikes, just sketchy stuff as a kid, you know? So a lot of people that I meet that do like cool stuff like that, you know, it's like that. Yeah, they must have done something on skateboards into their business nowadays. You know, like bring some of that mindset in their business nowadays. Like, just go for it. You know, see if something cool happens. If not, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. But hey, what if you land that and it looks great? You know. So,
not only this, but how many times did you end up doing a little construction growing up, skateboarding? Like, let's build a half pipe. We built like a couple half pipes.
Welding bed rails and bolting them down to half pipes.
We'd get bags of Quickcrete and make little quarter pipes and like big culverts that we were skating in, you know, like patching some Quickcrete to like make it more skatable, you know, like.
I see this guy, Mike Thompson. He works for Artisan Build. Used to work for Cho Bros. He's a skateboarder, and him and his guys, a lot of them that work together, they skateboard, and they have. Like they take and get bags of concrete, go up the sides, like you're saying, and make the cool sketchy ramps in the alleyways, and then places that are just like ruining things, but it's awesome, you know? Like they learn how to float things. They learn how to, you know, make the right angles and ride them out. So I think there's something to that though, you know? All of the kids should skateboard and do sketchy things.
You might be on something there.
I know, I never thought that connection.
Well, my dad, he told me growing up too. I was like, how come you always let us like climb the big tree or like do the sketchy thing? Like, he's like, man, I just wanted, I'd be, let you climb the big tree and just be down here to catch you. I'm like, that makes sense. So yep. I use that a lot with my kids. We do all kinds of fun stuff. So
I was telling them,
how do you let your kids do that? That's like not good. I'm like, it's okay. They're learning. You learn a lot when you get hurt. I
was telling Kyle the other day I put the connection of when I used to BMX, I'd film myself and film my buddies. We'd all take turns doing that, edit these things, put music to it, and I'm like, now doing these reels, I'm like, it's kind of
I remember making
this is pretty sick.
So making all the sketchy videos with the jackass. You know how it was.
Yeah,
tile work doesn't look as cool through a fisheye lens. So, man, tiles curving all over the place. Nah, it's not. It's fisheye lens.
My mother-in-law, she had a badass pool in her backyard, and we drain it every once in a while, and we get to go in there, be with a buddy, and we'd hit it with our BMX bikes and just fucking shred it. It had nice rounded edges. It was, dude, it changed my life. I love that. I wrote a lot of
gnarly cool.
Who's that?
So fun.
The what is it? The Two Rivers Skate Park has a
dude, I used to spend like every night there. When I first got my driver's license, me and my buddies would go to Opryland Hotel. We would raid the fountains for all the quarters and stuff, go drinks, whatever. And then head to the skate park. That was the spot,
Man, that deep bowl with the pool coping is gnarly, dude.
Dude, I've got hurt in there.
I bet you fucking have. That thing is scary.
I tried to drop in that thing one time. That was not ready,
No. That's where my wife, she's one of her friends that teaches. I guess he still skateboards every once in a while, and I haven't been on my bike. I go every once in a while when I take my daughters, and I'll still do stuff. But she's like, oh, well, Jenna wanted to know if you'd go to the skate park with her husband, and I'm like, well, I guess so. I'm like, but the difference is if I fucking bust something up right now, I can't work. We're out of money. I'm like, it's a whole different.
I rolled a 4-wheeler on myself about 3 years ago, and I was messed up for about 3 months, dude. Like, it was not good, No. So, but that was like, man, I gotta take care of myself, not get hurt, do sketchy stuff, but less sketchy,
Yeah.
So,
especially having kids.
So much. Kids, there's just such a lot. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. That's what stopped me from riding and doing a lot of different things. Is like, all right, the risk and the reward just is not there. So
I haven't stopped. I still ride sketchy 4-wheelers and do all the stuff. I just take it easy,
Yeah, that's the one thing about me. It's hard. Once I get that bug, a lot of things I'm just like, I can't let up.
But like Kyle said, we used to build the sketchy ramps. We learned how to frame. We learned how to, slopes, all the stuff,
Yeah.
I had blueprints. I went out and had a blueprint binder. It was like manual boxes, like how to make transitions on different like quarter pipes, half pipes, all of it. It was like their Bible. So anybody was making anything would always come to me and, oh, let me see what you have, and it would tell you the specs of everything. Yeah. So it was literally blueprints.
Well, watch for it now. Honestly said something with like skateboarding and the connection to like business and stuff. Watch, you'll see like a lot of these other dudes, the ones that are worth working for. Some of them, they got it going on. You're like, wait a second, I get it now. You're one of these.
That's funny. I never put that connection though until you said that. That's awesome. I like it. I like it.
You skateboarder, huh? No.
Hold on, you wearing pants, dude?
Not at all. That was a roller.
Oh shit.
Well, I gotta go run my kiddos to bed. But this has been awesome time, and I really appreciate you, man. It was nice getting to know you. I hadn't gotten to reach out and talk to you.
Take a paper and write down a bunch of things if I have time to remember some good stuff to talk about.
This is good. I feel like there's a bunch of stuff I was thinking about before this that I was like, yeah, I'll talk about it. And just get in here, and I'm like,
yeah, whatever.
I don't
know. I appreciate y'all having me on here, man. If I can help, let me know.
Likewise, brother. You'll be back on. We'll get you back on here. We'll check with your schedule and get you. We'll have to hook
up someday, Kyle. I'll come down there, help you on something. You can help me on something or whatever.
Yeah, dude. No, we need to link up for sure.
Yeah,
I'll pick your brain some more too about that contractor's license, dude.
For sure, yeah. Oh yeah, we should get together on that.
Yeah, I want to talk to your CPA and stuff because
for sure.
Get rolling on that.
Okay. That's sick, dude. Hell yeah.
Awesome, Hell guys. Yeah. Have a good night. Appreciate it.
Of course, brother.
You, man.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you soon, man.
See y'all. If I know how to turn this thing off.
Oh, you're good. I'm going to end it real quick on at least.